Well, I hope we see all that action. I hope both teams get really confident in their ability to get up close and personal, you know, get fast, go for those really, you know, difficult shotgun kills and get up close and personal. From all the games that I've casted of Reactor so far, Jacob, in the last 2 Pro League matches, it's all about speed between the teams. It's all about just rotating, getting there first, being faster, and using a numbers advantage as soon as possible rather than just going all out for map control. Let's see how both teams operate here on Reactor today.
Yep, you can already see it looked like Rebel. They went for that early control with Lancers and shots over the top, but giving up that torque bow to Sleeafer. He not only got 1, but he gets 2 on crack through the cover, and he's fighting, trying to help Exclusive. And if you look at where Exclusive is fighting right now, he knows exactly where he needs to position himself to get the maximum amount of help over the top. Gets the back A on Identives. This is just back and forth battle to start this game off, but it looks like Kardia is going to get the last level on the hill. But no, Sleeafer! Those torque bows to start the game. He goes and finds himself the eliminations and get himself the hill points.
Well, the stats do not lie. 3-0 right now, and he's on the objective. Jacob, what a great start for him, truly so. And he's such an important first hill. I was talking to Taylor about this, actually, on Reactor. It seems to really give a huge advantage, capturing the first hill compared to other control maps. And it can lead, honestly, to the victory in the end. Let's see, with them being so close, whether this offensive back can get Rebel back in there. And it can't. Rezik with a kill. And also, the rest of the players will fall too. Not only do they get the majority of the first hill and the points that go with that, but also Team Queso can start looking to rotate for the next hill.
Yep, only about a 14-point lead here for Team Queso, so Rebel has nothing to worry about just yet, but 2 more eliminations going, 1 for each team. Kardia gets taken out. Exclusive gets taken, running away. That's going to be a blunder there, but a trade coming through. Sleeafer doing what he can. Addvers getting the last laugh, and you already see the rotation coming through. These guys are fighting for this next hill towards that top right half of the map, so winning this fight here towards this spawn point is going to be so influential for both of these teams, setting themselves up for success. And if Team Queso gets this, they're just going to continue to build on the lead that they already have. And 2 more eliminations. Rezik, Exclusive. They're going to try to find another one onto Kardia. He gets taken out, and it will be Team Queso who get the first footing onto this hill.
Right now, they're just winning in the lane department, right? They're able to pick up the important kills in the hills, and they're also blocking out the spawns, right? And pushing out the spawns with relative ease. And so, very good job from them. They've got hill set up. Meanwhile, Crack has the torque bow. And a lot to do for his team. Addvers pushing up on the left with them as well. Team Queso, I like this. They pulled back to the safety of cover. Keep your distance and let them run into you, right? Crack will have to try and get something with a torque bow to open things up. But instead, Identities is getting kills. They're trading out meat shields for Sleeafer. The Crystal will fall as well. Numbers advantage firmly in the way of Rebel, and a successful attack for them. Not only that, Jacob, but they've also got the short spawn to the left.
Yeah, a perfectly placed smoke grenade. I don't know who it was from Rebel that went in and go ahead and threw that grenade to perfection for their squad, but it made sure to funnel everybody into one direction. They get splash damage by the torque bow. Crack gets stuck up on, though, by Rezik. You need to make sure you watch everything. Addvers trying to make something out of nothing here. He's trying to be the hero right now. Eliminations and the man advantage is their way, but Rezik with a little bit of help towards the backside with Cristalize. They're able to take out Addvers. Now they have the high ground. They have the positioning on this side of the map, but they don't have the man advantage. So if Rebel is able to go quick and be decisive on this push, they can easily toss a turn, take control. But Kardia going down. 2 more players being funneled down towards the low side. Team Queso remaining in control of the high ground. Identives doing what he can to hold this positioning. And in a few seconds, as soon as these players from Rebel will get in a position, get in from their respawn, you see an overextension towards the top as well. Pay attention to Kardia.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Team Queso, right, that window for Rebel has completely been squashed by them. And actually, yeah, the exclusive actually player is just all the way back in the corner to make sure they can't come around the flank. That's a very important 1v1 between number 3 and Kardia. Exclusive, it's all coming down to that 1v Kardia push in. Exclusive tries to get back in, not able to get it. Now Kardia, he has that pinch on the players. Team Queso, are they going to push forward just to get away from that pinch? Yes, they are pushing down the alleyway. Rebel not having any of it though, trying to keep their distance. The pinch will come through from Addvers, and Rebel with a successful push. But of course, Exclusive starting all that off with a very, very high pressure 1v1. Well played from him.
Yep, now you can already see the rotation being made. Rebel's going to go ahead and have last bit of remaining time on the hill. That would, in theory, be enough to go ahead and at least tie the lead or get it rather close. But, you know, they're going to have to abandon that, make that quick rotation. And you see Crack is just trying to survive. He's that player with the torque bow. He's going to go ahead and find that elimination, keeping himself intact. This was a massive moment, not only for those 2 eliminations that Crack was able to pick up, but the 3 torque bow he's going to have for this next hill coming up. And we know if you're able to get these players on rotation, find the pick at the right moment, you're going to set yourself up for another possible 70+ points.
Absolutely so. Crack once again with the turbo, but only 1 shot left. Team Queso, height advantage for them. Crack tunes, gets the stick. Awesome shot from him, but no teammates nearby to get the revive. He'll just be left to bleed out. Meanwhile, Team Queso flying in, exclusive lead in the way. Frag grenades thrown to the side, not going to connect with anyone, but it will find Crack, of course, on that down. Here we go. Krista will get taken down as well. Kills trading in the smoke. Identities will fall as well. But numbers advantage for Team Queso. They should be able to clean up Kardia bar a miracle. Kardia still very much alive, though getting the double as well somehow. Fighting his way, getting the kills, staying alive, and now a huge numbers advantage for Rebel. And it's all because of that man, Kardia.
Yeah, right now it just looks like both of these teams are very, very good. They're excelling well on their offensive portion of their game, but it's the defense holding on to these hills and getting a successful stop onto either one of these teams seemingly being that issue. Team Queso now have to break to stop the lead from coming through. Addvers going to go down, smoke going out to try to cloud, but 2 downs going through, possibly 3 if Crack didn't get revived, and he did. They're escaping. They abandoned the hill, so that's going to change hands to Team Queso as Rebel is just looking for that moment. Crevice in time right now to try to survive here, but 24 seconds left. Team Queso is going to get the lead back, but this has been back and forth, back and forth. I think the biggest lead so far was maybe just 14 seconds.
Yeah, literally 14 seconds as far as I'm aware. And it's insane, right? It really is insane between these 2 teams. This is exactly what you wanted the major start off, like, especially between these 2 teams that are just so closely matched. And now, really, it's down to the 2 teams, right? Who's going to be that star player to separate them from their opponents? Kardia has been kind of that player for me so far, getting those all-important kills, staying alive. Torbo in hand, of course, for Rezik. Hopefully he can help out his team. Meanwhile, Rebel are just standing all the way back with their lances, keeping these 3 Team Queso players at bay while holding down that spawn route into the hill. Rebel finally choosing to pull back as well. A little bit further. Rezik with a headshot across the map. He's had the call out, looking for the second, and he finds it. Amazing shots from him. And now at 4v2, he's opened the door for the teammates to push on in through the front. Sleeafer with a headshot on Kardia, and surely Crack will fall as well. No funny business going on. Surely not. Frag grenade in hand. Not going to connect with anyone, though. But Rebel, they're quick off the spawn, pushing out from the short.
Yeah, they're doing a good job continuing to find these eliminations, find these players just getting caught out onto rotation. And you can already see those 2 big torque bows from Rezik gave Team Queso this early control, but Rebel firing back, finding 2 eliminations quickly thereafter, pushing, trying to brute force their way into the hill. Cristalize catches Addvers, Kardia goes down, Identives gets 1, he falls shortly after, and another back-to-back double kill from Rezik to try to get the lead. But look at the score. Neither one of these teams have a great footing in this matchup. Neither team eclipsing the 150-point mark until Team Queso here barely finished, done with the game. But I might have spoke too soon right there. Rebel just not letting any one of these points go without at least some sort of sacrifice, whether if it's positioning, damage on a player, or an elimination overall.
Yeah, so true. It's just so close. It's too close to call right now. And it really comes down to these rotations at the start, right? If a team gets there first, typically they'll be able to get at least some of the points at the start. But even then, you have the opponent quickly hot on their heels to push up as a team. Deathball on the way through the front door. Torbo now in the hands of Exclusive as we go back and forth. Torbo control between the 2 teams. Rezik had a really good showing with it on the last hill. That 1 kill can make all the difference. That 1 stick. Not going to connect on that one. The push does start on the right-hand side. Rezik will find Kardia, but Addvers is getting damaged out a little bit by 2. Has to be so careful. Krista tries to go for the up A. Risky. Doesn't pay off. Rezik, meanwhile, will come around the flank and nullify that push. Short spawn, not able to be essentially blocked. No, it will not be. As you can see, 7-8 will spawn there. Meanwhile, Exclusive does have the torpo rather set up. Hopefully, these 40 seconds for them can really produce a bit of a lead here for Team Queso.
Yep. Another offensive push. Defense, like I said, is very lacking in both of these teams, and that goes to show just how aggressive, how much they're putting into this when Kardia gets taken out. it's not too much to worry about for Rebel since you're not able to break the hill just yet. Everybody kind of backing out, and the biggest thing right here with Identives going down is Crack. Crack has to make sure he utilizes those frag grenades. You can't throw them too early, but you also can't throw them too late, so there's going to be a lot of pressure on Crack. Add that with the combined fact that they're down 36 seconds here, so Crack is going to begin to feel that pressure, especially if he misses that first grenade. You see everybody rotating around towards this next hill. That was a big gain for, I do believe, Team Queso. About 40-point gain into that one, over 26 for Rebel, so constantly staying one step ahead of Rebel.
Yeah, that's it, and we're back to the center hill now. It's an all-out scrap again for this hill. It's insane how close these two teams are in that close quarters department, and it looks like Rebel will just about eke that one out, and it's crucial that they do, of course, because Team Queso got a little bit of a lead, a 30-point lead over them before. Now Rebel trying to claw their way back, of course, as we approach that 300 mark. It'll get even tighter on the rotations, and teams perhaps will not take any chances as to the pushes.
Talk about that back and forth early on into this game. It's going to continue at least to a third, maybe 2/4 of the game, more than halfway through. Kardia trying to back roll here. He took a lot of damage, so he has to be very, very careful that that damage doesn't get reset by a random Lancer bullet. But Crack, I talk about having to utilize those grenades, and a triple kill, I'd definitely say that is utilized. They're going to get themselves the lead here, and that is the first lead they've been able to get since hill number 2 in the beginning of the game. So Rebel, throughout the entirety of this match, have been able to fire back, but grenades are going to be in the hands once again of Rebel here in a short moment. So Torque Bow in the hands of Rezik. He's going to have to put it to use just a little bit better than those grenades from Crack.
Absolutely. And they spawned the other side of the map, Jacob. They bought so much time now for of that hill. Now they have to look to fight all the way back to the other side of the map to get through to this next hill. And now Team Queso have the setup. Rezik again back with that Torque Bow, active, ready to fire away. This is such a high pressure push now for Rebel as we do get closer and closer to that 300 mark. Of course, 70 points to play with on this hill. Can bring them very close. Boom, Rezik with the first stick, looking for that second. That'll at least delay Rebel now to wait for their player to spawn back up, I'm pretty sure. Rebel are going to get a little bit closer. Their teammate spawning just behind. Doesn't matter. He's going to get stuck again, Jacob. Twice in a row now. Addvers will be sent to the graveyard, and they're going to have to wait again. Buying so much time is Team Queso.
Might as well call him Robin Hood at this point, the way Rezik is just shooting those bows. He has a couple left in his quiver, I do believe, but he's going to switch to a shotgun, shoot those shots over the top. Frag grenade coming out. It is going to connect. 3 players of Team Queso are going to fall, and a 4th as Sleeafer gets taken out. He was able to get 1 before getting taken out, but that was just a last-ditch effort. Team Queso with those eliminations, or them getting eliminated, I should say, they're going to get a free outward rotational spawn. They're going to have to worry about getting snuck, but they're just giving up that lead. But with the way this has been going, if they can cement themselves on the hill first, neither team has been able to defensively hold on to these hills just yet.
Yep, so true. Addvers getting singled out in spawn right there with this cover of smoke. Team Queso, excellent from them. Once again, staggering the players of Rebel. A 4v3 right now in terms of the numbers, and Rebel, they're getting angled out. Rezik has gone wide with his Lancer. Identives Lancered out before he can be revived. Team Queso are all over this next hill. Oh my goodness me as well. And the down from the Lancers onto 2 players. The Torque Bow of Crack. Can it delay them? At least it can, but won't save the teammates. Crack forced it all the way back. And again, Team Queso buying themselves so much time.
Yeah, and they can win off of this one. That's the amount of time that they're buying themselves right now. So Rebel has to act quick. They have to act fast. Even though it's only going to take a few seconds of contestation to go ahead and stop that win condition from coming through, you don't want to let them get close. This is a must-have offensive going through for Rebel. They get it down towards the backside. They double down even. They have the angles looking like turn, and the revives are there. Rebel, they're doing everything they can. Their first elimination, though, being picked up by Sleeafer. Makes number 2, 3, and 4 as Rezik is going to be the last one down and out as they're looking to come back from this deficit. They have to claim the majority, if not all, of this scrap time left to get that lead back under their control, while simultaneously trying to find the perfect rotation to be the first one to the hill before Team Queso can cement themselves there.
And it's such a difficult task. We've just seen the last 2 hills, Jacob, how good Team Queso have been at rotating early and getting the majority of the points on the hill if they get there first. So much pressure now for Rebel as they're literally 10 points off each other And it's surely such an important map for Rebel, given Team Queso's ability on execution coming up next in map number 2. Rezik lit up from the center. The map control is there. Rebel are set up on the hill, but the Lancers are coming in thick and strong from Team Queso. Identives just about getting rezzed in time. With Kardia up there in the center. Oh my goodness me. This will be an incredible nade if it can connect. It's forced Kardia out of cover. Can they collect on the kill though? They can get the down. And that's the door open for TQ to push on through. Identives chain revive with Kardia. Can they survive? Crack will finalize that kill there. Rebel hold on up front.
Yeah, one of these teams really needs to find it in themselves to have a defensive stop here, but Rebel, they find that entrance towards the backside. They continue. They find the mismatch. They get him under their belt. Both of these teams can win off of this hill, but Rebel is just 15 short seconds away. Identives has the Torpo, gets some splash damage, but goes ahead. Former teammate Sleeafer takes him out. Less than 10 seconds remain. Rezik, he gets the contestation on the hill, but he gets taken out by Kardia and Addvers. Revive is there. Sleeafer, I've seen him be a hero during Pro League, but the time is now during the major. Rezik gets 2. Sleeafer shuts it down. They get a stop on the hill, but they cannot win. Rebel only needs 6 seconds.
And they're going to rotate. They're just going to wait for the next hill, surely. But Rebel can also pressure, of course, this hill, this current hill. They can just take away the points if Team Queso dare rotate for the next hill. And Identities, he wants to get in there. Kardia and Addvers are close behind. Crystal will fall. Sleeafer, the last bastion. No exclusive, just the right will pick up one. Rebel are swarming. They're going all in on this hill, and they still can win. Can Rezik just stay alive and delay it for the next hill? 5 points. It's going to be difficult. Rebel will hold out, and they will win on this hill. What a fantastic map that was from them. 16 minutes it took to determine the winner for map number 1, and boy, it couldn't be any closer.
Wow, that was just insane, and you got to give it to Rebel. Even though they weren't trailing by a massive amount, they were one step behind Team Queso for the majority of that matchup. I said it. It wasn't until hill number 2 where they had a little bit of lead, just a 2-point lead at that time, 49-51. Hill 3 and on. Team Queso, they took over the game. They stayed one step ahead until the very end. And oh my God, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Rebel finished strong.
That was truly something, PR. My goodness, I thought it'd be close, right? But I didn't think it would be that insanely close between the two teams. And it's huge for Rebel. You know, I mentioned it in the closing moments. Yeah, Reactor is a very fast-paced map, and it could go either way. But Rebel, historically, they're the better control team, right, than Team Queso. Team Queso, clearly the better execution team. Rebel have to start off with a map number 1. You know, it's the ideal situation for them, and it's so crucial. And they got that very close win off them as well, just to give them that, you know, that motivational boost and kind of perhaps knock their opponents down mentally a little bit going into the next map. That's massive. That is massive for Rebel, and a very impressive performance from, honestly, both teams.
Yep, you can see it, like this back and forth battle as the replay is going to show all the way through, and everybody's going to have their moment, right? Everybody can pick one moment into this match, and some might differ from others to where the tides have turned. And I honestly think it was that triple kill frag grenade that came out from Crack. I said it, he needed to hold on, it used to perfection. You can't just get one elimination, but he got 3. He got it at the perfect time on rotation, with cemented Rebel to get the majority of that hill time. And that would be my moment. I don't know if we're going to see it here in the replays, but we're going to see a lot of moments coming out from Rebel. We're going to see a lot of moments coming out from Rezik and that Torpo, and just overall, just a bloodbath from this first map.
Yeah, truly so. Even that last hill, right, Jacob? It was stunning. Kardia and Identities, you could see the chain revives coming on there, trying to survive. Sleeafer and Rezik flying through the center to try and get through. You see there, Rezik getting the double as well. If he didn't get that double, Jacob, he wouldn't even been that close to the last hill, right? Just fighting so hard was Rezik that entire map, and it was all culminating into that last hill. Beautiful, beautiful first map. And honestly, Reactor is probably one of my favorite maps just because of how intense the maps can be now in the pro circuit.
Yeah, you really have to watch all your angles, make sure nobody's slipping by. There's a lot of secret passageways that players can sneak through. They're not, you know, predominantly used because you can spot out players a lot, but man, if you can catch somebody slipping at the right moment, get a flank, or just kind of catch somebody off guard, that is going to be a real difference maker. But 300, 283, the closest match we're going to see so far. Yes, it's the only match we've seen so far, but check out execution. This is a map where I said it doesn't matter what that scoreline is in map number 1. If you come out swinging, you have an aggressive game plan, you continue to get those first bloods, you could go ahead and tie this series up at 1 apiece if you're Team Queso.
Oh, absolutely. And the stats don't lie on this one. This is the most one-sided affair in terms of stats between these two teams. Team Queso is 6-1 on this map. 6-1. And of course, they played all the top teams in this map as well, right? Throughout Broly. 6-1. That's insane. They've beaten Rise, they've beaten VQ, 6-5 and 6-3 respectively. I mean, that is a huge scoreline in and of itself. But not only that, just to add salt to the wound, they beat Rebel last week 6-1. This is Team Queso's map, surely. If you're a betting man, you go in on this one. But of course, you know, the spanner in the works potentially for them is actually losing that map number 1, right? They're having a psychology test right now. You know, they are not the underdogs in this map. They are the strong favorites going into checkout. Losing to Rebel, is it going to hit them mentally? You know, this is a major after all. Rebel historically do perform better in these big events compared to Team Queso. Let's see what Team Queso are made of mentally, right? This should be their map, but I don't know. Rebel, we're looking very good. Map number 1. Yeah. Well said. Very well said. And this reminds me, actually, as you talk about strategies, I'm not sure if you saw the match. Well, I'm sure you saw the match of Rise versus VQ and them going down bottom on Clock Tower with 4 players earlier before. I want to see something like that on checkout, right? That's what I want to see. Back in Gears 3, I'm sure you remember, a lot of teams actually like to play heavy nades and then play for the retake on checkout. But we haven't really seen much of that on Gears 5 just yet. Perhaps this major is a time for teams to experiment in that dramatic of a way.
Talk about the different strategy we see. I didn't talk about a 4-over-8-man all over the top battle royal coming out. Kardia's gonna go down first. He's not getting cleaned up just yet, but Cristalize goes in. He gets it down on Addvers. Exclusive cleans one up, but that's gonna be a trade. 3v3 going down, but they're chasing down Rezik, trying to find the down, but everybody playing to perfection, playing their positioning right. Sleeafer gets it down. Cristalize cleans that one up. 3v2 is going to ensue with Team Queso having the advantage.
You absolutely love to see it, don't you? 4v4 straight up in the checkout. Let's see, can they clean it up? Rebel falling all the way. You can see the bait of the snipe from Identives. Has to be careful. The body check comes through. Unfortunately for him, he'll be angled out. Addvers chasing for the revive, but he will not get there in time. 3v1 now. And surely Addvers can just be angled out very seemingly easily here. And in fact, a headshot will come through for good measure. What a great first round that was to start things off. 1 minute on the dot for Team Queso to take that one.
Yeah, that was looking really good there for a moment. I forget who that was. It was either Kardia, Addvers, pushing that back lane in that 1v1 versus the sniper. That's almost a no-no, but at the same time, you know as well as I do, being in those situations, if you think you have an opening, you know timing is not necessarily on your side. You have to go. Unfortunately for him, it wasn't the opening he was looking for.
Absolutely so. Keep a close eye on that mini-map. It's again going to be a 4v4 over at the nest. No one wants the nades at the start. It seems like it's all about numbers advantage, of which Identives will take. Getting that first kill on exclusive. Crack will get the down on Rezik. The angles will come on through. 4v2. The downs will trade out. And that will be a Rebel answering back very quickly indeed. 24 seconds it took them to fly on through. I don't know, Jacob. I think we might be seeing this strat come out a lot this map from both these teams. It seems like they just want to death ball and use their numbers and really just get up close and personal as fast as they can.
See, I thought I was going to see the 4-overs. I thought I would see it towards the very end, though. That is what's really surprising me. Rebel and Team Queso have came to play. They don't want to leave it for 3v3s. They don't want to have a staring contest over towards nades, but that's going to be the mismatch. Rezik has free frag grenades over towards the other side. Sleeafer finds a way to get the instants as well. They're getting everything given to them, but you're seeing the frags go off. You're seeing the instants go off. Only one is going to be able to connect so far. That is going to be onto Addvers. Identities unable to find the connection with the Cypher just yet. Team Queso are just taking control little by little, inch by inch. Kardia goes down. A misroll from Identities is going to cost him his life, and Crack is no more as Team Queso win the round. Back-to-back rounds here. I should say back and forth rounds between both of these teams.
One team taking the initiative strategically, and it works out amazingly for them. 4-0 in terms of lives kept and lost in that round. Well played from Team Queso. And honestly, when you go for a strategy like that, when you know you're outnumbered on the checkout area, you have to be fast in reacting. You have to make sure you don't lose your lives in the process. Team Queso do that amazingly. Looking like numbers-wise, again, we're going back to the 4v4 over a checkout. Team Queso trying to go all in on the snipe. Meanwhile, Identities go all in for the Intens. Complete opposite strategy here. And the revive chains have to come through for Team Queso if they want to get out of this one.
And look, where's the Instance? Just throws them just a little bit too late. Luckily, Exclusive and Sleeper working together to get that elimination. Sniper missing over the top from Sleeper. He's doing what he can to help Cristalize, but he overstayed his welcome on that side of the map. So the man advantage going over to Rebel in a 3v2 scenario, but the Sniper is going to be a tide turner for Sleeper. And honestly, if I'm looking at Team Queso right now, I don't want that Sniper in anybody else's hands. Sleeper, probably one of the most dangerous precision weapons on the team.
Yeah, that's for sure. And if I'm Team Queso right now, I just want to slow it down and make sure I don't lose any more players. You know, give Sleeper the time to see if he can get a headshot to level out the numbers a little bit. Only one headshot, of course, to make it a 2v2. Nades over the top. Not going to come anywhere near Sleeper. Meanwhile, Kardia has to be careful. Sleeper's aiming over the top, looking for that head. Oh my goodness me. I could feel the nerves from here of that player. Identives looking to get inside tech, has to be careful again. All it takes is one shot to open things up. And even a body check right now inside tech could open a push, or his teammate Exclusive to push on through there with a little bit of cover from the right. Addvers actually going for the pinch here, Jacob. This is huge. Oh my goodness. Sleeper says no. 2v2 shuts that down instantly with overtime starting in 20 seconds.
I don't understand the risk at all. You have at least one frag grenade in your pocket. You wait for that hill to pop. Either you get the elimination with the frag or you funnel them away from the hill. Sleeper, that man is dangerous, and he's showing exactly why. Don't peek at my Identities. Nobody's learning their lesson right now. On to Rebel. Frag grenade from Kardia. Again, he's trying to create the separation. He gets body shot with a Sniper. Back aim from Sleeper. A tide turner right there. Identities is trying to contest the hill. He's doing what he can, but over the top, Exclusive takes him out. And Sleeper turning the tides, taking the round in his hands, and bringing Team Queso in back-to-back round victories.
What a huge round there for Team Queso. Sleeper clutching up. Look at this for a replay. Addvers just running in a straight line, Jacob. I don't understand it either. You just don't need to challenge that. Meanwhile, Kardia pushing in on left hand, getting body checked. The nade was nowhere near. Sleeper could just go straight back up and either back A or up A that pillar. Very confusing push from Rebel there. And now they paid for it. It's 3-1 to Team Queso.
Ooh, that's actually a very, very brave strategy. They did a 3-1. They got mismatched on this side of the map, but Identities went in anyway. Addvers, Kardia, everybody's just getting taken out. Kardia's actually by himself. He has those fraggers. He doesn't even toss him over the top with first blood. A great start to this round is just completely melting right before our eyes. But Kardia gets another one. But Sleeper again with the Sniper. Nobody is going to escape his line of sight.
This man's on fire. He's on fire, Sleefer. Brilliant stuff from him. Look at the stats. 9-2, or 9-1, excuse me, in terms of KD. Brilliant stuff from him. And this is it, right? This is Team Queso separating themselves. And it's actually courtesy mostly of Sleeper right now. They don't really need to do it as a team, but although that is working out amazingly for them as well. 2 rounds away are Team Queso from finishing this map off, potentially 6-1 if Rebel cannot turn it around. Sleeper, change of strategy for him. Little bit of confidence straight on the plat. We'll find Identives and the incense and nade pickup now from Team Queso. They do not have to rush this. It's 4v3. They have the power weapons. Rebel trying to respond while they can. 2v3. Addvers in a lot of trouble, stuck in a corner with no cover to find. And now 2v1. Kardia is going to get dropped down as well. Team Queso, Jake, they are on fire. And Sleeper is now 11-1.
Man, when you said 6-1, I know you were talking about their win-loss ratio on the map, but I didn't know you were trying to predict the scoreline as well. 35 seconds. Team Queso, they're ready. They came, they're firing off on all cylinders. They got their practice through the Pro League. They did their scrims, E-Days, and man, they have shown up day one of the major. It's group stages, but man, they have shown up and taken over this round 1 matchup against Rebel. And honestly, if you're Rebel, this is where it's put up or shut up on checkout, backs up against the wall. Almost a 2-0 lead up for grabs for Team Queso. Sleeper goes down, though. Sniper in the hands of Identities. Nothing being cleaned up just yet. Just multiple downs. Kardia finally gets taken out, but it's Rezik, Team Queso, who get first blood. Oh, back to back.
Identives needs a headshot, and he needed it yesterday. Not going to connect with Rezik. He'll get the body check, nothing more. Now, 1v4. Identives try and clutch up. All down to him. Big headshot from him to open things up, but is it too little too late? Yes, it is. Team Queso will finish the map 6-1. Stunning performance from them, of course, making them 7-1, their record on this map in particular. I mean, you just got to go with the stats at the end of the day, I guess, Jacob, because that map number 1 didn't seem to phase Team Queso at all.
Yeah, I kind of said it going to this one. My brain said Team Queso all the way, but the match is not over just yet. Will Rebel complete the backdoor sweep? Don't go anywhere, because we're going to see the conclusion of the first match of the day. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And if you guys missed the first 2 maps, you guys missed a back-and-forth war between Team Queso and Rebel, where in map number 1, Rebel put up one hell of a fight to take the map, but in map number 2, it was all Team Queso all the way with a 6-1 dominant victory on checkout. Toby, what are some of the things you've noticed after the first 2 maps?
Oh, what an amazing map number 1 it was, wasn't it, between the 2 teams? But checkout was a very interesting one, actually. You know, Team Queso on paper, they should win, but it was more so how they won for me, right? Their strategy alone was just a lot more unpredictable than from Rebel. They were a lot more proactive, right? They tried different strategies. They went to nades a lot more times, but also when they went for the 4-man down checkout, not only did they play for the sniper a number of times, but they also played for nest control, and Sleeafer made that work amazingly towards the end of the map.
Yeah, and if you have somebody that's so dangerous like Sleeafer, just picture a dangerous running back in the NFL that you just can't stop the run. That opens up a dangerous pass game. Same thing on checkout when it comes to Sleeafer. If you don't stop that sniper pickup, if you don't stop him from getting headshots, it's going to open up different avenues of play. And you saw one of those audibles get mixed in there. Instead of going for the sniper, he went for that early checkout plat play, getting first blood and opening up yet another round. If it wasn't sniper, if it was shotgun play, and it was a dominant performance from Sleeafer in map number 2. So once we go into map number 3, Harbor on Escalation. This is going to be our 3rd game mode here during our major. What are the biggest differences you think either one of these teams have to make to getting upper hand in the series?
Well, again, it comes back to mentality, I think, for both these teams, right? Rebel had a very close map number 1. It was not comfortable at all for them. An absolute smashing on map number 2, but I hope they keep in mind that they are not expected to win that one, right? Team Queso should have won that on paper. Meanwhile, Team Queso, clearly mentality-wise, Reactor didn't phase them. They were just as confident, playing just as well on checkout, even perhaps even better than we've ever seen them on checkout, dare I say, with how they were actually playing both as a team. I mentioned the strategy was on point, pulling out the whole entire strat book for checkout. It seems like really educating us casters and viewers how to play it, but also Sleeafer, of course, with that snipe. It's so many headshots, right? They're clutching up, and the aggressive play towards the end on that is fantastic from both these teams. But in terms of the differences between them and really how to go into Harbor, I mean, we mentioned statistics. Really, it's quite neck and neck actually between these 2 teams overall. 2-1 record for Team Queso historically on this map in this phase. 1-1 for Rebel. Right, they've not played against each other on this map before in Pro League, so it really is up in the air. This one, it's 1-1. I'm curious to see who comes out on top.
Now to see trading of first bloods to kind of start this one off. Nobody really having that footing here. Even down low is overextended on the other side of the map. And that to me, you look at where Sleeafer is positioning against Addvers. He pushed up. He's ready to take the game under his own hands, similar to what he was able to do on to checkout. But it's not a big advantage just yet. He gets the cross needed over the top, and that's where he's going to swarm, try to find the elimination. But Identives, the reinforcements needed. Right place, right time to get that elimination onto Sleeafer. So I was about to say, finally, somebody's going to get a footing onto the neutral, but Identives goes down, and you see all those plays being made at the low portions of the map. That's going to open up something, an opportunity from Team Queso at the top half of the map. Right now, it's a 2-2, but with Sleeafer coming off respawn, you know he's going to rotate over to try to get some sort of footing on that high ground.
Yeah, and that's it. Just like Reactor, right? It's all about attack and defense for a lot of these hills. And so let's see if either team can really do better in terms of the attack and defense, right? Map control Harbor is clearly known for that right up the top. Meanwhile, we look at the complete opposite Team Queso trying to break the B hill. Identives flying back as he's got help from Addvers from the top. His teammate just to his left. And that's great. That's really good from Rebel, ripping back that control to their side on B.
Yeah, once Rebel's able to build up momentum, you can kind of see it affect their game plan. You can see it like in motion as they begin to form just a little bit better. Crack with the flanks, able to get one. Identives finds the other one, cleaning up both of those eliminations, even staggering them out. Crack wasting no time to get that cross angle. He knows how dangerous Sleeafer can be. Addvers gets a wide angle as well. They don't want to even let Sleeafer touch that hill to get the decap to come through as they continue to rack up the points. About a 40+ point lead right now. And if this goes even a few seconds longer, Team Queso is going to need a triple neutralization.
Yeah, might as well. They'll absolutely need if time continues to regress in this manner. Sleeafer again angled out just a little bit. He'll roll back safely as well. 25 seconds on the clock now for Rebel to secure this round via points. They've done the hard work. Can they just hold on till the very end? Team Queso rotating up top. 3 players on the top end of the map now to see if they can push across. Krista's gonna get down in the process though. That's really going to be a spanner in the works and stop them from really getting anywhere too far. Team Queso players across the map to finalize this this push. Of course, Rebel will come on through with the first round in the end. Quite a comfortable score difference actually, and a very good start from them after a disappointing checkout.
Yeah, it's one of those things you got to be able to have that pitcher's mentality of sorts. You might give up the run, you might give up a double, whatever it may be, but you got to be able to kind of, when that next batter is up, strike him out. Have that same killer mentality, but the weapon selections, it's going to start off slow. Usually it always does. Nobody, especially with how this first 2 maps, want to put that big weapon down center line, or at least just yet. But I can see Rebel, if they're falling behind, or Team Queso, maybe drop that M-bar, the torque bow, depending on which team is the one that's behind. But the difference right now, bolt talk directly towards those pipes and then another bolt talk towards the bottom. Do you think that favors either one of these teams, or do you think it comes down to strategy?
I'm not sure if it favors either team necessarily. It really is just early doors, I think, weapon placement wise for these teams. Curious to see if anything crazy comes out on Harbor later on, given how close the 2 teams are. But right now, it is all about the shotgun fight, both up top on Stern and also on Winch. Sleeafer, the man picking up the ball, took at the bottom. Kardia and Rezik head to head. And my goodness me, Kardia shut him down insanely well. Identities finds Krista. The trade out comes through, but Kardia will get the last shot. Well played from him. Winch is his reward, and he'll have the angle down onto B if necessary. Meanwhile, doesn't even need the support, does number 8 in the form of Addvers. He already has B control.
Yeah, unfortunately, due to those eliminations early on, nobody from Rebel can really advance in their positioning. They have to get content here, rack up the score line, and watch. Spot these players, and right now it's Kardia that we're jumping on board with. Even though we can't see him, you can see he's spotting, getting all that information. Knows there's 3 players there at the bottom half of the hill. A counter flash coming through. Rezik taking the brunt of that damage, and that's a great target if you're going to select one. Try to get him out early. Stop him from getting warmed up as those downs are coming through. Rebel is actually falling, but Identives, a quick audible play, trying to be a distraction, getting that decap towards the backside, but Team Queso's taking their time, making sure that he doesn't get a single 1v1. They're going to get their home hill back. They're going to get the other team's home hill. Triple cap domination sounding off. It's up to Kardia to make the play, and he gets the elimination on the exclusive. This match will continue on.
Yes, it will. Wow, that was close. Rebel, of course, starting off the round strong, but Team Queso clearly not to be underestimated here on the triple opportunity. Addvers getting angled out a little bit. He has got support. Sleeafer, rightly so, pulls back for a moment, going straight back in though as the angles do come in thick and fast. Crack will get down to Addvers, and Go will have to chain revive their way out of that one if possible. Rebel are playing very heavy down bottom. Meanwhile, Identities flies through the middle. Not going to come and find any kills there. In fact, Exclusive will get the trade out. 2 kills for 1. He'll certainly take that. Addvers would be hill control too.
See down low 2 players just trying to solidify their positioning on the lower part of the map. They should be able to get their home hill back, but with Addvers rotating back, this is where Team Queso have to make a move for that neutral. They have a 2v1, but they have to utilize it as fast as possible. But Rebel's doing a good job of getting their home hill back. They're going to get that lead right under their belt once more, but Rezik, he has not backed off this position. I don't expect him to back off. Team Queso is going to have this split push, try to attack both hills at once, and hopefully they can come out on top on at least one of these 2 hills, because this is so close. Whoever holds 2 could find themselves victorious.
So true. Rezik with an awesome angle onto Addvers from across the map. Identives trying to force him back. He's going to be outnumbered very soon, I think. He's got a little bit of support, though, in the form of Krista. Meanwhile, Domination blinking for a second. Rebel have to pick and choose where they're going to fight. They've turned around. Look at the points, though. It is so close between these two teams. Rezik holding on. COG team will win if things do stay this way. Sleeafer getting pushed out as well. And C-Hill is going to be gained by Rezik and Krista with that push onto the C-Hill. That will surely close it out. No one is close enough to break it in time. And my, oh my, it is neck and neck between the two teams. Team Queso pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, I don't know who was Rezik. I believe that was Cristalize almost the entirety of the time holding down the home hill of Rebel. Even when they were kind of pushed off of the hill itself, they didn't back off of that positioning, which made it to where they couldn't overextend. They couldn't put all their eggs into that neutral hill basket to try to neutralize all three of those hills, which kind of gave up that round. Team Queso just doing almost everything right in the later portions of these rounds. So for Rebel, though, they have to be able to hold on to their defenses. That was one of the biggest things on that first map. Both of these teams actually lacked not just one. It was their defense that was easily broken when either team wanted.
Yeah, exactly that. Retro and Talon going down. Nothing too crazy, of course. Both teams building up their secondaries so far. And as Taylor mentioned right on the desk, that Harbor is perhaps should be a little bit more popular in this major, because we've not seen much of it in Pro League. I wonder if teams will try and utilize that to their advantage with some crazy weapon placements that we're not typically used to seeing even on Harbor.
Yeah, late flash from down low. I thought it was going to work out well for Team Queso, but only a trade to come through. Identives gets the last laugh, staggering that death out, immediately turning to try to put shots onto Sleeafer, but it's just one of those spots to where, yeah, you can get some damage, but get that down and pick it up. It's going to be something hard to come through as Addvers get some shots fired on him. Team Queso off a respawn, trying to find their footing. They want to attack that neutral. Sleeafer takes some damage. Looking like he was going to get flashed and stunned out, but a little bit too far out of range. Crack, go ahead, trying to be the hero. Rezik is just making that rotation, but it could cost him his teammates' life. Luckily for them, they have the triangle chokehold to get both of those downs, solidify that neutral under their control, and simultaneously move back, knowing Kardia is being a threat on their home.
This is beautiful from Team Queso. Yes, it was flashing red, but they should be okay, bar a miracle. Kardia, though, does get that opening kill when he really shouldn't be on exclusive. He's surely going to get angled out now from the spawn. Yes, he will. Danger averted for now. But yeah, Team Queso, excellent so far in the middle of the map, getting back the control. They're going to regain their home control now. And they should be able to actually snowball this numbers advantage, right? Sleeafer getting the Boltok headshot from the middle. That's what it was, looking for the connection on Crack. And surely they can actually carry on with these kills. Team Queso, the numbers are so close and personal now with the opposition of Rebel. Crack is doing his all-out best to try and stay alive. That he does, allowing Rebel now to get their foundations back together to be able to make a push.
As I say, I like the quick reposition to come through. Rezik just escapes barely, but he goes for the revive, cost him his life. Both of those players taken out. Exclusive was trying to be the reinforcements their need, and now he finds himself in no man's land, and both of these players are going to have to play as individuals. And the only player that looked like they might get help is going to be Exclusive on the other side of the map, but he's trying to make that rotation to come through. They don't want to turtle down. They're not in a position to. They trail 20+ points, and now they're not even gaining any points. Cristalize, he gets shut down. Exclusive still stuck making that rotation. Now he's stuck on an island in the middle, backtracking, trying to help. He's trying to do something here beneficial for the team as Sleeafer finds that elimination, but the hill is still being contested. Addvers goes in, he gets eliminated, but the score, 50+ point lead for Rebel. Two hills still under their control. Team Queso, they have to go, and they have to go now.
Oh, that retro is punishing, isn't it, from Identives? That'll ensure Exclusive gets taken down. Numbers staggered, and time was already against them. Surely Rebel can come on through now and finalize this round. Identives showing off on the B hill towards the end of this one, and Rebel, my oh my, the proactivity across the map, the pushes to the home hills, everything really was just working out so well for them. And that round comes on through thanks to all their efforts. Well played from them. And honestly, Jacob, I think we're going to go back and forth on this map as well, just like we saw with Reactor on map number 1.
Yeah, and honestly, as somebody who's cast and a fan of Gears Esports, I love how back and forth. I love how action-packed this can be. But if you look at the strategy coming down, man, I want to see which team, if any, is going to put that big weapon down. Because if you're the team that puts that weapon down center line, then you're picking the fight that you want in the place that you want instead of waiting and letting your opponent pick that fight. It may not be the position you want. It may not be the weapon that you want. So that's something I'm going to be kind of noting on here. But I can see why, and I can agree why it's not been done just yet.
Yeah, I think both teams kind of still feeling each other out, right? You know, Harbor not that experienced of a map for either of these two teams in this phase. Maybe they are just want to take it slow, right? And see what they can do. Lovely start, though, from Team Queso on this Winch. Aggression all out, it seems like the strategy for Cristalize and co there, as they get the back A's, and Rezik already flying onto the C hill. Addvers trying to fight back with the bolt off. The shots will not come on through. Numbers are on the side of Team Queso as Rebel try to flood in, but nothing is going to come through for them. They are not able to collect the kills. And Team Queso, what a response from them. The speed and aggression through the top. And they can just about get a triple cap in 40 seconds on Harbor. My goodness me, well played from them.
Yeah, what an answer back. And honestly, one of the biggest things right there, Crack it was. I'm about to say Kardia, but Crack actually threw his stun just a little too short. And I firmly believe if that stun just is extended a little bit longer, Identives gets the double stun he's looking for, possibly goes in and gets at least one of those two eliminations instead of the reverse happen. Crack and Identives both getting taken out. That's why I always say it's something as simple as a flash grenade in the right spot can either win or lose you an initial, which can win or lose you some of these rounds. But see the difference being made right now, the path being made. Rezik wants that shock grenade early on for their path. They get the shock grenade over toward their side, but they're not going to be able to advance because of where it's at. Kardia gets the high ground as well. So even though that shock grenade did create some separation, I think Rebel wins the early portion of this initial.
Yeah, if anything, Jacob, it should have been Rebel, right, with that shot grenade placement. They want Team Queso to be slowed down because they have the numbers on Winch. Meanwhile, of course, Rebel, they have control of up top, you know, height advantage. They have the E-Hill control as a result. That definitely works out for Rebel, 100%. Rezik's going to be hunted down now by Crack as he runs all the way around to their side. Meanwhile, the rest of his teammates are swarming. They're flying over to the enemy's home hill. They're running past the E-Hill and even looking for a triple cap in the process, but no, Cristalize says no. Sleeafer gets the down, but Crack is there to revive chain with Kardia as the hills do change. Just about E-Hill will be retaken by Team Queso to ensure triple cap does not start blinking.
Rezik has been a huge thorn in the side. If he just stays alive there, he buys his team a 3v2, a 2v2 on the other side of the map, but they're going to find the down anyway. Kardia is going to get taken out, and they find two as Addvers falls as well. So in the blink of an eye, they reclaim their home hill back, already making those rotations towards the top half of the map. It's basically a race between Identives and Rezik to see who's going to be the reinforcement first. Crack, one shotgun shot, two back-to-back. He's going to be able to get the down. Quick revive coming through. Returns to the scene of the crime to finish off Cristalize. They get another one, and another one. The combination between Identives and Crack is just a duo that I would love to be a part of.
Oh, you and me both, Jacob. Absolutely stunning from those players there. And that points differential, that's huge, right? Because Team Queso are going to have to wait back for numbers to respawn. They're going to have to reformulate a push to regain map control and that E-Hill. So that score lead is only going to build up further and further for Rebel. And Team Queso are really going to have to consider this now as they really plan how are they going to use their utility, how are they going to get access back to this E-Hill and get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, typically Rebel doesn't like to turtle back. They can win off of one hill here, so they just need to know, or at least be cognizant of, you just do not die for that neutral. Team Queso can cap it. Team Queso can decap it. They can have a party. They can dance all they want, but you just do not get wiped onto this hill, and they still have three players holding it down. Nobody able to advance. Now on the other side of the map, though, Rezik, he wins that 1v1. That makes this hold that much more important. The exclusive goes down. Cristalize is going to be the only player left on that side of the map, and he's not going to be close, so Rebel will hold on to the lead, will hold on to the round, and once again reclaim that lead 3-2.
That they will. Back and forth. You can see the rounds on your screen there between these two teams. Identives leading the way on 16k damage, clearly. amongst his peers in the game. Surely now Rebel don't do anything crazy weapon placement wise. That was a really stunning round from them, honestly, Jacob. They started off winning the initial strong, right? The shot grenade placement really didn't work out for Team Queso. They were trapped on winch for 3 players. Rebel fundamentally out-strategized them there, and they also won that all-important mid-round fight, courtesy of Identities and I believe Kardia. Well played from Rebel, and they just need to keep performing in that way. Meanwhile, Team Queso, they're going to try and go heavy on winch once more. Strategically, it looks like they are. 2v1, Identives on his own. He has right hand, Crack just behind him with a little bit of Lancer support. Will they turn around? Yes, they will. Try and use the numbers there. Rezik will fall. Crack, good job from him. But meanwhile, his teammate is going to be dropped in the form of Identives.
Crack's just trying to find that angle there. Great turnaround to go up top. They got a trade in eliminations in terms of personnel on the map, but the biggest thing was that hill capture onto the neutral. We've seen rounds come down to the very seconds, which could take a difference. Cristalize gets downed out, quickly cleaned up. It's going to be Crack as he takes out Exclusive. Revive coming through. Kardia keeping his teammate alive, rightfully so. Crack was able to get another elimination. And as Kardia finishes off Cristalize, they'll once again get that hill under their control. And they're going in and fighting for the home mill. This is a triple cap domination here. A few seconds for Rebel. And it's something I did not expect. You got to give it up to Addvers for advancing heavily on that fight in the 1v1 down low.
That's it, isn't it? That 1v1, we forget about it because we're so focused on that all-important up top fight. And there it is, right? That makes all the difference. If your team wins up top and you win the 1v down bottom, that is pretty much always a triple cap, bar a miracle from the opposition. Well played. And it's 4-2 now, of course. First to 5 for Escalation. The question is, for Team Queso, right? Are they going to bring out anything weapon placement-wise? Anything crazy? No, they will match them. Shot grenades up top and sends down bottom to influence that 1v1 we were just alluding to. I'm curious, Jacob, strategy-wise. I'm going to stare at the minimap now between these two teams. Is anything going to change? Are Team Queso going to continue trying to go heavy on winch? They've got right-hand control now. Sleeafer throwing in that stun early, and it is going to stun them as well. Kardia again, they're down first of all, but oh no, he's not able to clean up in time. Unfortunately, on that right hand, they needed to find a kill. Exclusive still pushing through, but he gets it down and nothing more. Huge for Team Rebel.
Yep. Trying to look at what utility is left. Crack just has one left. Kardia, those are great shots by Kardia. He's going to win that fight against Rezik, who gets over-aggressive in the situation, and rightfully so, though. He's trying to make something happen here. He was getting flanked towards the backside by Identives. The two of those going back on over towards Rebel. But I was talking about utility on the side of Rebel. Team Queso, they have some flash grenades, they have smokes, they have those instants over the top. Sleeafer narrowly missing that exchange, and Identive takes out Exclusive. And I think that was the exchange that Sleeafer needed to hit. He needed to get a connection with that incendiary grenade to make that push that much easier, forcing a rotation to come through. Rezik is going through the middle, almost unscathed. He did get marked out, though, so no sneaky plays being made. He's trying to reunite with his teammate down low, but Sleeafer just taking his time, taking the scenic route. That's going to cost them almost everything. They're not able to advance in that positioning. Plus, Rebel having that control up top. It's almost like Rezik is going to get downed out here in a short moment if Rebel figures out a way. But because Team Queso was able to get footing at the bottom of the ramp, they were unable to continue putting that damage out. But if you notice right now, Kardia with the shock grenade, he's going to shock out the entirety of the ramp, make Team Queso either stall or choose somewhere else to push through.
Yeah, and that somewhere else is literally winch. Two players going in. They are so heavily outnumbered because that third player, Cristalize, isn't able to do anything. I'm not sure why he's still hanging around at the bottom of the ramp. It's not going to come on through. Identives, meanwhile, with the double on Rezik and Exclusive, leaving just Cristalize all on his lonesome up top. Bouncing wide as Crack, having no funny business from Cristalize there. And surely that locks in the round and thus the map. Well played from Rebel once more on the defense. And that shot grenade, you nailed it, right? On that walkway up to the top, that ramp perfectly thrown. And now Rezik going all in on his own. Not going to happen, unfortunately, my friend. 10 seconds to go until Rebel surely wins the map.
Oh my God. I was about to say patient as can be to make sure to hit those shots.
It smells great, by the way.
This is very, very unfortunate there, but the map victory goes to Rebel 5-2 after a devastating 6-1 checkout loss. They find the answer, they find the strength within themselves, and the player to watch, Crack, the MVP, 18,000 damage, 15, 9, and 15, just showcasing his dominance. But man, Identives 21,000 damage. Talked about the 1-2 punch combo, man. I don't want to get hit by them.
No. You me both, Jacob. It's really good. Really good from Rebel. Actually, so impressed from how they played that, right? You know, it's cliche. They won 5-2. Of course, it was a good map for them, but it's just how they played again. Team Case are all about strategy, round checkout, but Rebel, boy, were they playing up top really well. And I'm surprised, actually. You know, I was alluding to it. I'm surprised that Team Queso still went so hard in on the winch push, because it just wasn't really working out for them, right? It just wasn't. Sometimes they got down, sometimes they didn't. Identities constantly a thorn in the side of Team Queso. And this was another push through the middle, right? Rebel were always crazy with the pushes through the middle. Oftentimes it worked. Oftentimes they were pressuring for that triple cap. You can see there Kardia was causing so many issues for Team Queso there around the back, and it honestly kept them guessing constantly throughout the game, and really led to a lot of trouble. But honestly, Jacob, very entertaining harbor at that from both these two teams, both threatening the triple caps constantly. And again, a really good job from Rebel in that round just there, winning up top on that Stern. They truly were the kings of Stern there, and it led to them winning the majority of the rounds there on Harbor.
And Cracks quick decisive moves on that initial plays, time and time again, to either affect the fight up top or play down low. Just an incredible flex player for Rebel overall. But it just goes to show right now, Team Queso, in map number 1, they lost it, right? They were aggressive all the way through, but towards the very end, Rebel was able to kind of solidify that map through their teamwork, their decisiveness as a unit. Map number 2 checkout, it was just all over the place. It was dominated by Sleeafer getting first bloods with either the sniper or that quick elimination, and just Rebel unable to kind of use their teamwork to fire back. But Harbor was another story of Rebel finding themselves, anchoring their positioning toward that top winch, using their teamwork and making sure the majority of the fights throughout the entirety of those 7 rounds were team fights being fought. And to me, that goes to show exactly what we said to start off this. Team Queso, I feel like my brain, on paper, they should take this series overall, but the heart, Rebel will not go out without a fight. They will not give up, and honestly, the only way I see them losing this is if you pry that controller out of their cold, dead hands. Offenses, you go and attack on your offenses, you should be good, but I feel like I'm making it sound too easy. It's much harder than anybody could imagine. But just a quick update before this one gets underway, because this is going to be action-packed the entirety of the way through. Vanquish secure their series against BDL Esports 3-0. United close out their round 1 3-1 over Smees, and Rise 3-0 Dream Conspiracy. So this is our last round 1 matchup of our Group A.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one, that's for sure. Now, Team Queso versus Rebel. Let's see how this one pans out. 2-1 Rebel lead, of course. And they need to win this. They honestly need to win this, in my opinion. Canals is looking very scary when you have Team Queso there on the other end. Let's see. Team Queso started very strong, actually, on the first hill outside on Garden. Meanwhile, Embar is still up. They're not only going to get the initial victory, they're going to have access to the Embar. Surprising as well, isn't it, Jacob? Unfortunately, though, they're not able to sneak away with it.
This might be the first time I've ever seen an initial on this map without the Embar being contested and fought over, but it doesn't matter. Identives knowing what's good, keeping that precision weapon out of the hands of Sleeafer. That should be almost any key to victory when you're going against Team Queso here. But first connection is going to connect, but no elimination being picked up. Identives trying to watch his teammates back. He gets taken out by Sleeafer, and another down going through. I need to figure out what weapon is he using to get that headshot, but all the kills going Team Queso's way. They're going to get the Embar. Didn't I tell you guys, keep it out of his hands, please?
No. That's insane. And not only that, always looking for the headshot already on Addvers just one. Not only that, Jacob, but he got it off Identives. Identives could have had the Embar, but thankfully he saves the day. My goodness me, one headshot comes out as he finalizes perhaps this play now, as it's a 1v2 or 2v1, excuse me, on the Crack. So damaged, and they've got access to the next hill. They've got short spawn, they've got Embar, they've got numbers. Team Queso looking really up here from here.
Yeah, they're looking like on different pages there of what the next move was going to be. You saw Team Queso bleed out the majority of that time, so you got to think Rebel needs to rotate, solidify themselves for next, but they don't. Team Queso just make it look easy, brute force their way through, find the headshot thanks to Sleeafer, and get control of yet another hill in the beginning. Last shot's gonna be fired out by Sleeafer, unable to connect, but honestly, him taking his time to shoot that shot allows him to see Kardia, because that could have been different opportunity going down, but Sleeafer gets taken out by Kardia and Crack. They're going to go ahead and solidify that spawn point towards the bottom, allow those players to get back up, because Team Queso, they still have the hill towards the top half of the map.
That they do. We haven't mentioned it yet, but look at this score lead from Team Queso. It's huge. It's huge. We haven't had a lead this big in control yet this entire match with how close Reactor is. Team Queso starting off Regency strong. Sleeafer, look at him sneaking for the M bar next. He's just hiding. Secret manning even Addvers and Identities. They have no clue. He gets the first kill. He's looking for the second. Addvers so weak, and that's it, surely. Yeah, teammates are just behind him, and that's the M bar secured for Sleeafer. Kardia will be able to sneak out of that war zone with frag grenades in pocket, but the rotation for the next hill is on, and Sleeafer has his eyes peeled with that M bar.
Very dangerous man here, but the biggest counter material to be Kardia with the frag. Oh my god, he gets taken out by Sleeafer. I told you guys, keep it out of his hands. And Identives gets taken down next. Rezik's gonna clean that one up. Addvers is gonna fall. All 3 players dead in the blink of an eye. And you gotta wonder, Rebel, please, you guys need to figure out a way to stay alive. Defensively stop it, because you scored 1 point on hill number 1 to 45, and it's 27 points on number 2, but still almost doubled up yet again. Team Queso, they want this game number 5, just like in Pro League.
They're on fire. Sleeafer is again looking for that check, that headshot. Can't connect just yet. Does get the body check on Addvers, but meanwhile, his teammates are crumbling around him. He's the last man alive, essentially, on this push, as Rezik is all the way back on the hill, and it's a 4v1. Not only that, but adds salt to the wound. Rebel, they have the short spawn. They push through the short spawn. Everything has worked out perfectly for them, and it's an excellent retake from them. And they really needed it at this point. The score was really getting away from them for a moment for Team Queso after all that hard work. Exclusive sneaks a kill somehow, finding Addvers there in that 1v2, but surely now both teams will consider rotating for the next hill.
Yeah, every second matters in the game, but I think they started to capture the hill with like 39 seconds, maybe 38 seconds left on the clock for Team Rebel here. So Team Queso knows we're just going to abandon this, give it up, get towards the top half of the map where that neutral hill is going to be, and we can funnel and lock you players out, because like I said, if you know where the players are coming from, you know exactly the short passages, the short hallways. You can lance your players out. I see Kardia and Identities. They're just trying to push these players back, spread out the defense, and figure out which hole they want to try to push through.
Yeah, that's it, really, isn't it? That's what it comes down to. Cristalize getting angled out, pinched 3v1 in front of him. And numbers for Rebel. You know, can they go on it? Yeah, the M bar's up. They'll definitely not be able to quick pick that with all the numbers around him. Rebel versus Sleeafer, essentially, and Identives will find him. Exclusive running in on his own. No, I'm not sure about this one, I'll be honest. He's going to stagger himself as a result. No one nearby. Like, Cristalize is all the way back with the Lancer, but not going to happen. He literally does stagger himself in that push. It's not going to happen. Crack is the one with the M bar. I'm surprised. I really like to see Identives actually pick up some more marksman weapons, some more precision weapons today. So we'll be in about Sleeafer so far. He's been the Latin American player really going off so far with those. Lovely opening up from Rezik there with a frag grenade. 3v3 as it stands. Crack still pulling on that M-bar. Awesome shot under exclusive mid-bounce. Lovely stuff from him. And now a 2v1 right in front of him onto Cristalize. It is all-out warfare right now for this hill.
Great headshot from Crack. And I love the way he just switched it up, knowing exactly what weapon to have out at what time. Hopefully he finds some shotgun ammo here in just a short moment. But you see 60 seconds on the next M bar. You see the shot grenade's going to come up in a few short moments. I would love to see Sleeafer go ahead and backtrack, solidify that. You already have the hill location where your team is at right now. You're not going to get the spawn point. That's already given up to Rebel. So now you use that shot grenade and stop a single alleyway from being pushed. And that's almost going to guarantee the other hallway cannot be pushed through either, because they know those Lancers will become a target, narrowing down. So Rebel, they have to figure out where this push is going to come through. They got the smoke towards the backside, trying to chain out something. Smoke, counter smoke being answered right back, as Sleeafer just waiting for that perfect moment with the shock. Like I said, the thing here for Rebel, though, is they have to get him to use that shock, because all this time being wasted, it's not necessarily a waste for Team Queso, as they're just racking up the scoreline.
Exactly. Identives risky, such a risky play there to look for the off there. You're not going to actually prove to be fruitful for him. He'll be taken down. Team Queso still with the lead, will be a lot smaller, and Crack in a world of hurt now. Angled out. Identives with a short spawn though. Teammates are just behind. Rebel still in this so they can fight their way back, but no, damage is too much. Identives will fall, and Addvers outnumbered, outgunned, and he will drop surely as well. Team Queso will continue their reign on this hill and continue building up that score lead. 155 and counting. M bar is going to be the next play. Kardia gets it in his hands.
And that's the thing about Rebel, though. Everybody has like the potential to go off with these power weapons. It's just you kind of see the same players, Kardia, or say Crack and Identities stepping it up, and that's what he's doing. He's just leaving it there. Oh my God, what a mistake by Kardia! He gives it up a little too early. Sleeafer just sniffs him out the entirety of the way through. Frag grenade over the top, creating even more separation, and you saw some damage being dealt as well. Rezik blocks the hop over the top. He finds the down, and he's gonna get the end bar as well. Just a big blunder on the side of Rebel is costing them everything.
Not like this. Surely not like this. My goodness. Oh, Rezik with the Ember. A perfect player to pick that one up, and the meat shield on one. Trying to get out of there to keep the spawn control and also to stay alive with that Ember, most importantly. Oh, you can't script it, can you? That's insane. What happened with the Ember exchange, and just as you're trapped in a corner, a nade appears. It's like a movie, a horror movie right in front of our eyes for Rebel. But somehow they will hold on to this hill currently. Team Queso will look to get back into it. Ember in hand, of course, for Rezik. As we pause for a moment, all players are up for both teams. The angle from the right-hand side. What's the option for Team Queso? In fact, they're going to go all in on the left-hand side. Exclusive will be dropped. Shock grenade not really going to do much so far in terms of downs or damage. Exclusive still finding his way back. Cristalize pushing on through. But Rebel Addvers fighting back. 3 players up against the wall now for Rebel, and they will hold that right hand. Rezik all on his own, and he will not stay alive. Rebel will continue to hold onto this hill and perhaps even gain the score lead.
Right now, Sleeafer just leading with over 10,000 damage. Going to be the only player at the moment at 10,000 with damage. But Identives, he might have known I was going to say something like that. He said, yeah, let me get a couple more eliminations. I'll reach that 10,000 5-digit damage mark. But Sleeafer yet again returning to the scene of the crime. He wants the Ember. He wants the percent. Oh my God, over the top. He flies one, goes for back-to-back. Sleeafer takes him out. Identives almost making the World Star play happen yet again.
Absolutely insane. Wow, from those players.
I never knew those could be so intense.
I know, and just a player coming around the corner as well, mid-flight. Oh my God, Sleeafer, you run into the wrong person with the Ember out. Identives has just said, yeah, I'll take that one. I'll pick it straight up.
Who would have thought?
And now his teammate, I know, who would have thought? And now Identives and his team will surely gain the score lead now. Team Queso flying through the front door of Regency. They're looking to get through as fast as they can, it seems like. Body check coming in through. That will enable the down to come on. Team Queso will be charged out. Completely Ember. Charge up towards Exclusive, finding the kill. Looking for a second. All he needs is a body check right now. He'll get a kill. He'll get the headshot. And those kills will come on through. Cristalize will fall, and Rebel will hold on. Score lead now going their way and getting great utility out of that Ember.
Yeah, that was a fantastic cross angle coming out from Addvers for multiple players trying to leave that middle area. That made it to where that one shot was going to get an elimination for Identities. So great teamwork coming through. Gets the angle. Finds himself with another elimination. He's just staggering that one out with 27 seconds left on the hill. Each one of these players left in the game are trying to fight for that next, whether if it's the spawn position where you see Sleeafer at or the actual hill towards the top half of the map. But Sleeafer, just an immense amount of damage being fired out. He had some help in the beginning, but Cristalize in a 2v1 of his own. He's able to get one. Sleeafer gets taken out. He's fighting for his life. With the help of Rezik, he's going to survive. And they have some surviving to do. So they trail 25 points here in this game.
That they do. Addvers getting angled out from the right. Exclusive. Awesome land swing from him, but he will get dropped as Kardia charges him out. 1v1 on this location, and Cristalize will say, no, I don't want it. I do not want that 1v. I'm going to pull all the way back and keep my distance. Meanwhile, he doesn't have the spawn blocked, and as a result, Rebel, they'll take that spawn onto that next hill. And they'll look to formulate a push onto the hill as soon as their numbers are back to full strength, but it's going to be very difficult with Team Queso, Cristalize in particular, all the way back in the spawn.
Exclusive has that M bar, so it's gonna be that same situation I was talking about with Addvers, with the immense amount of Lancer fire making Identives' jobs easier with those chunks. The same thing's gonna be happening here with score. It's gonna be Team Queso getting the lead late into this one. Rezik and Exclusive playing their roles almost to perfection, giving up that M bar, and I like to play Exclusive more of a support player, power weapon player for Rezik, so they're making sure they can close out as much this time, close out the positioning as possible. Cristalize becomes a target in towards the spawn. Sleeafer gets grenaded out by Identities. The mismatch on that side of the map's going to be there. Crack continues his dominance in towards the spawn. One shot going to be landed by Rezik, but only a damage shot going to be landed. You see the rest of the team. That's going to be Identities particularly trying to press up. create that distraction, but 26 seconds left. That's going to be enough for Rebel to get the lead right back, but they're going to now have to rotate into Team Queso's positioning, who now have the upper hand over on that side of the map.
This comes back to what we were talking about pre-game, right? Is that Regency is a very different map compared to Reactor. You need to rotate early, and setups are everything. With Rezik having that M-bar as well to hand, that can change things up dramatically. Rebel, of course, rotating off the hill, buying themselves as much time as they can possible to get into a position to actually attack this next hill before it pops up. And you can see how far Team Queso are back onto the corner. Meanwhile, Rebel, they have the numbers at the front. Shot grenades thrown. Sleeafer's cover has been completely removed from play, and he's going to carry on pushing on through. Identities one. Make it a second. Well played from him. And now numbers advantage firmly in the way of Rebel. They'll be able to clean up these players. They'll be able to block out the short spawn in time, I'm pretty sure as well. Yep, they will. And Rezik will fall with that Ember. That, Jacob, could be the game-winning push for Rebel.
Yep. Talk about Rebel, they just need to hold on right here. But Team Queso, this is one of those teams that I can never count out. They will flip that switch in the ending portion of this match, especially knowing that Rebel cannot win off. And that's going to be a necessary cushion for Team Queso, where in the back of their head, they don't have to panic. They don't have to worry too much. Things don't go their way, but Sleeafer just continues to find the heads that he's clicking on with his controller. Addvers goes down. Exclusive gets taken out as well. So it's still going to be a 3v3, but a mismatch here in the middle is going to allow for someone to get some footing on that side of the map. Rezik's going to fall. Crack gets the grenades. This is looking mighty fine for Team Queso, but another elimination for Sleeafer as he connects with the N-bar. Another elimination for Sleeafer as he gets another one onto Addvers. 25 seconds left onto this hill. So Team Queso, they have to make a very, very important decision. Do you bleed this hill dry, or do you fight for next?
That's the question, right? Usually with Regency, you just want to go to the next one, right, instead of bleeding it. But I know the points are so close. Players are all over the map. Maybe you can just get some more points from this one. Wow. Sleeafer going off with the Ember, getting so much value from that weapon. And it's very different, actually, to Rebel, who haven't seen much really usage out of that weapon. It's very surprising, actually, to see Identives not really coming into his own when he has had that weapon in hand. Frag grenade in hand for Crack. Sleeafer round the back with a really important flank. Gets the first, trying to save his teammate in the process. Identives lit up as well. Sleeafer getting angled out. This is huge. And our Rebel are 2v2, or maybe even more, as Team Queso are flying off short spawn.
Yeah, they have to find that sweet spot between waiting for reinforcements and contesting the hill. It's not going to be easy, but nobody ever said it was. 2 downs coming through, and they're both going to be cleaned up. Cristalize and Exclusive are going to fall. Rezik feeling the pressure, feeling like he has to make a move. He went in. He got eliminated. Sleeafer's going to fall. 4 players dead. No eliminations for Team Queso as Rebel are just getting one step closer to closing out not only the map, but the series as well.
And they can win off this hill, but Team Queso cannot. That dynamic could be huge if somehow Team Queso can keep contesting this hill. Team Queso, 3 players in front. Identities just want to fly up in front of them. It's not going to work out. Left-hand disadvantage, completely read like a book. Numbers dwindling for him and his team now. Trading out Rezik with 1. Make that a second as he's going off again on the final hill, potentially off control. Crack will fall also. And Team Queso do get this hill back. Sleeafer with the Ember as well. This is all building up to an awesome finale here on Regency.
Yep, and they find themselves with grenades. Yet again, that's going to be a big difference maker late into this game, and it's going to force us now going to the side hills. That pressure, if you get eliminated, is going to force these players to run in one by one. So with the M-bar in the hand, we got frag grenades in play. This is looking like this is going to be a Team Queso round, and they have shot grenades. If Team Queso loses this, they don't want to win. They don't want it at all.
That's it. That really is it. Sleeafer, 1 body check from him could change everything here. Headshot, even more so. Looking for that check. Not able to connect. Rebel get the 2 kills, opening up on the front door. Identives down in the process. Sleeafer cleaning him up. And now a 3v2 at this hill. Time is not on Team Queso's side. 10 seconds to go. Sleeafer needs to do something right now with the Ember. 5 seconds. Exclusive trying to step in. He needs to contest. He gets the check. He gets the kill. He opens it up, the door for Team Queso to flood on through. And it could all come down to this final push. Looking for that check in the end. Rezik will find 1, and Cristalize will find another. Crack taking out his teammate in the process. My goodness me. And Team Queso are still in this game.
If they win this, I think Team Queso has started this comeback with an M-bar shot through through his teammate Sleeafer. I don't care what the stats say, will earn the MVP, will earn all the respect in the world if they can close this one out. You see 3, 4 players getting geared up, pistol shots, Lancer, everything being fired off. Less than 10 seconds remain for both of these teams. The hill is going to be touched. It's going to be contested. 3 straight downs. Make it 4. The last player alive. He needs to be the hero. Crack gets 1. He gets taken out. And Team Queso will complete the comeback and force a game number 5.
Rebel trying to reach it. They're not going to be able to. Surely not 299. Oh my goodness, it was even close there. Team Queso do hold out and they win that round, taking it to a map number 5. What more can you say? What another incredible control match that was.
Yeah, but I just go the same line I say all the time. Are you guys not entertained right now? Sleeafer getting MVP, completely dominating and taking over the game. We got a game number 5. You guys don't want to miss the conclusion of World War III because we got that right after this commercial break. Man, what a fantastic and what a great replay to start off with. If it wasn't Sleeafer with amazing headshots throughout the entirety of the game, I don't know where we would be right now, but because he did, the story is cemented. Game number 5, and this is a back-to-back game number 5 between these two teams in back-to-back series. And I went ahead and saw Inksnade in chat. I don't know how Sleeafer did not get a team kill with that M-bar towards the very end, but regardless, that is a playmaking play that will shift momentum entirely in your favor as an individual and a full team of Team Queso.
So true, honestly. I think it's these plays that we're seeing on the replays right now, even with this double M-bar, that really separates you from your opponent, right? It's been so close between these two teams on control, right? On paper, Rebel should be winning them, right? But the case is, it's been a lot closer. But Sleeafer has just been going all in on the M-bar this game, getting those plays that really set the precedent for these crucial rings, these crucial points that come on through eventually. You just keep seeing him on these replays, and we're looking right now at a potential MVP for this entire match. Even on checkout, he was going in, both with the shotgun and the sniper. Sleeafer is having an absolute field day today. And honestly, right now, he might even be underrated with how he's performing today. Underrated as a player. You're usually talking about, you know, the Latin American god of Identives, even Demon of Past, of course, no longer, or not in this major today. Sleeafer is up there. He's definitely up there, perhaps more so than people have given him credit for as of recently.
No, absolutely. I kind of said it back when E-League, Gears of War 5 first kind of came out. I said Sleeafer was probably one of the most improved players going from Gears of War 4 to Gears of War 5. A lot of people looked at it as just kind of a marksman player, a precision weapon player, even though, yes, he's still a very, very dominant precision style player, but now he picks up, he gets loose with his shotgun. He's a true force to be reckoned with on this team of Team Queso, and that's exactly why we're going to a map number 5, but Canals. I think right now, even though I think the momentum is heavily in favor of Team Queso, I got to give that kind of cup half full for Team Rebel on this one, because there's no sniper, there's no M-bar, there's no big precision weapon for Sleeafer to just dominate with.
Yeah, exactly that. And it just comes down to your old-fashioned shotgunning, right? Essentially, yeah. The snipers removed from Canals, of course, being Blaze, admittedly not too happy about that. We loved our snipers, our classic Canals, but it does open the floor a little bit more for even more aggression off the initials, even more importance on that middle bridge fight. And question is, you know, which team is going to be better at it? On paper, Team Queso are going to be better at it. They're better at execution. They're 3-1 overall record in this one. And even to put salt on the wound, 6-4. They beat them last time on this very map in Pro League. Closer, a lot closer, right, than the checkout. It could, you know, still edge it either way as a result. But on paper, Team Queso should win this. I was mentioning it before. Rebel had to win Regency to stay in the game. They did, but now they got Canals in front of them. And right now, Team Queso are the favorite for this one. That's for sure.
No, I got to agree with you 100%. The way Rezik and Sleeafer, particularly those two, obviously it's a full collective team effort, but the way those two have been playing in terms of shotgun, in terms of getting in your face and being a real disruptive force, I got to agree that they have the upper hand, but it's the same variable that we said to start this game off. Rebel, they won't go down without a fight. They have all the heart in the world. They have a full region kind of right behind them, just making sure that they know that they are supported. So kind of start this one off. You see the strategy coming through. 4 down low for Team Queso. If they can be decisive, they can be quick, they can find that early elimination.
Identives and Kardia trying to peek through the torp boat to get the angles down, and it has worked off so far. 3v2 though, as the kills do come flying back. 2v2 nades in hand for Rezik as he tries to collect kills with that. He is going to find one. Now it's a 1v1, torp bow in hand for Master, Marksman, Weapon, Identives player, and now 1v1, and he does get the damage. He gets the down across the cover, and he's going to get the execution in the end for good measure. That was a close one, wasn't it? That first round, brilliant stuff from both teams, and it's kind of that dichotomy of strategy, right, Jacob? Rebel tried to go 2 underneath with the bridge. They get the torp bow, and they're able to get the kills. Meanwhile, Team Queso are working just as hard, pushing up on the middle bridge onto for those frags. Really brilliant stuff there.
Yeah, due to the snipers not being there, that's a very, very prominent strategy that in the past, it would get spotted out by that sniper player. You had to be quick, you had to throw smoke. Now with the sniper not being there, nobody takes their time on that back bridge. So those down low plays are going to be a play that a lot of teams play for. Now it's going to be Team Queso who are sending their 4 down low, quick stun, and they get that first down in blood onto Addvers. Identities has it cross over the top. I see multiple members funneling on towards that middle bridge. A great stun is going to back him up. He's taking a ton of damage, trying to stay alive. Reaction shots to flash to even just have a hope and a dream into that one. Kardia gets taken out by a frag grenade. Crack doing what he can over the top. He's trying to even it up. It's still not in their favor. Identity's going to go down, and so is Crack as Team Queso even up the score.
A lot different that round, wasn't it? A lot different. Team Queso, they stick to the guns, right? They use the numbers advantage to get onto the middle bridge and just hold it, right? 3 players, turtle up on map control. What more do you want when you have frag grenades in hand? Meanwhile, of course, Rebel, they weren't successful in their pin strategy, right? They weren't pushing from low side too heavily. In fact, they got taken down very, very quickly. The first player, Identities, stuck on his own on the high side, and everyone else scattered. That's the difficulty when you try and play for a pinch or a retake on the middle bridge. Simply just don't have the numbers to work with.
Very well said, and this time both of these teams now taking a page out of each other's playbook here. 4 down low for everybody, but a quick torque bow pickup for Identiv. He gets down, quickly revive, torque bow revving up, not able to connect with the first one, but that's why you have 5 multiple chances to try to go off. And Sleeafer, he picks up those frag grenades, and the connection's going to come through. Identiv gets first blood on to Cristalize. Both of those frag grenades, I do believe, were wasted as well. So Rebel not only have that first blood, they have the man advantage, weapons as well. So it's about taking inch by inch to go ahead and funnel Team Queso in a position that you find advantageous enough to solidify the round.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness me. Identives torque bow from the other side onto middle bridge. What more do you want? This man is now on fire. Rezik stuck in the corner. 4v2. Sleeafer looking for any 1v he can find. Not going to come through though, as Addvers does collect on that kill. And it's now a 4v1 for Rezik to try and clutch up. Not going to happen. And it's all courtesy of that man, Identities, with the torque bow plays. Really good job from him. And it's such a difficult torque bow stick, right? You know BR from experience. Trying to stick someone across canals like that when you can barely see the whole body, it's just kind of the shoulders. It is unbelievably hard. And Identities just hitting them left, right, and center. He does it so often. And that's why that strategy of playing all in for that torque bow and trying to get out and play for the retake on middle bridge actually oftentimes works for Rebel.
Yeah, but you know, Michael Scott said it best. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky.
So true. so true. You have to get Identities that torque bow, in my opinion, if you have the opportunity to do so. But look at this for change of strategy. Team Queso, they have 3 players down low, but they're not pushing anything with it. No benefit gained, and in fact, they're just going to get angled out. You can't stay on that low side, BR. You can't just sit there and hope for something to come on through. Instead, they're going to be trapped through 4v3. Sleeafer's going to have to try and fight his way out, but it's not going to happen. The nade will make it next to impossible, and even for good measure, Kardia has the torque bow. 4v2. This is honestly Rebel's round to lose.
Yeah, Kardia can do almost anything that he wants here. Keep splash damage at the top of the cover, but it's about that wolf pack. It's about making sure no kill elimination is going to be easy. Cristalize just backing up. He's trying to use these pillars to funnel these players in, but there's just too many of them. They're just swarming on the lone players of Team Queso, 3-1. And honestly, normally I would say that's not too much of a lead, but the way Rebel is playing right now, this feels like a massive lead. This feels like they're already on match point, even though they're not.
Yeah. And I saw this kind of play out before when Rebel played against Hive. Hive just kept going all in on middle bridge, and it actually was working for them though. And I kind of want Team Queso to do the same thing. Just keep going for that 3 low side, but you have to follow it up. You have to go for that middle bridge control. Otherwise, Rebel will continue doing what they're doing, right? They get torque bow control and play for retakes and win through numbers advantage later point in the round.
Victor will pick up this time for Team Queso. Rezik gets downed out twice. They have to be very, very careful if they're going to revive him again, but he gets taken out. Cristalize is going to fall. The Lance Fire is going to ensue. Sleeafer gets downed out. Exclusive falls as well. It's not looking good. The last hope is going to be Exclusive. He's only able to get one. 4-1 is the scoreline. Rebel is looking to start off this major hot.
They are. They most certainly are. 3 rounds in a row. And that's a statement for me in itself. Looking how strong they are on this map. You know the statistics. I mentioned them earlier. This is honestly Team Queso with a huge advantage here going into this map. But no, Rebel are leading the way 4-1. And a 3-round advantage right now. Team Queso went all in the Zorbo and it just didn't work for them at all. Team Queso have tried loads of different strategies now and they just aren't paying off. Are they going to return to their bread and butter? Yes, they are. They'll get mid-bridge control straight away. Meanwhile, Rebel are going to stick to their guns, right? They'll go for the Turbo pickup. They will collect. Crack, meanwhile, is essentially getting pitched. He turns around. I know. Turned on. Does Sleeafer get there? And now 4v3, Identives Turbo in hand. They can take their time, Rebel. They can really take their time and work their way back up to middle bridge control. And yep, Bar Miracle, the nade will not connect. They can take their time to regain map control with the numbers.
3v2 Rebel. Rebel have a big advantage because not only do they have that power whip we were talking about, they still have a flash, they have a shock to kind of funnel people around. Rezik with these frag grenades, even though they have some flash grenades to kind of back it up as well, needs to be absolutely perfect. And honestly, if I'm Rezik, I almost wait for the opportunity when the hill starts to pop, players are moving in, but Cristalize gets caught out by himself. And that's going to have me scratching my head, probably Team Queso as well. How did you get so separated so far away when there's only 3 of you alive?
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of desperation there, honestly. Getting so separated, trying to find a 1v. Identities, yeah, he's just going to get the damage. He's so close to sticking that one too. 4v2. 1 nade for Rezik to work with here. He does get it thrown. He's going to block him, being able to push on the right hand. Identities will shut him down. And Exclusive will get cleaned up as well. Just like that, yeah. It's 5-1. Blink and you miss it. Rebel are now 1 round away from finishing this match off.
Yeah, heart is what's going to get you this far, man. You can have all the skill in the world, but if you don't have heart in it, if you're not playing for the right reasons, man, you're going to have a hard time throughout the entirety. Rebel down, missing Demon. Addvers coming in, stepping up to the plate. Honestly, not the best season, not the performance anybody will have hoped for during the Pro League, but coming into the major, this is where it all becomes worth it. This is where some of those beatdowns begin to make a little bit more sense. And this round, it's going to be Addvers, the new player on the squad. He's going to be the first towards that bridge, getting the frag grenades as well. You're going to chalk some over towards the top, but Exclusive gets first blood. A grenade a little bit too deep, and he gets taken out. Everybody from Rebel falling left and right, and Team Queso will win their 2nd round, but they need to be perfect here. They need to win 5 straight rounds in a row if they're looking to take this game number 5.
They do, PR. They need to be absolutely perfect, and thankfully for Team Queso, Exclusive was there in his 1Vs, pinching onto the middle bridge from high side and allowing his team to sit back a little bit and hold their numbers elsewhere. Torpo sufficiently protected though for Team Queso. That's better. You want to stop Rebel trying to collect that straight away, and they're doing that very well. But they need to be able to control the map elsewhere and gain advantage. Exclusive did that with middle bridge. Let's see if they can regain control here. Rezik is able to, but he's down in the process.
Oh my god, nice opportunity. Guy's going for the revive, gets the down, and that's all it is. Not even the trade of eliminations. Rebel 6-2. They shut it down and complete the 5-game series.
GG, and you would not have called the execution that way, would you? Nope. Rebel 6-2, the final score on that one. And honestly, if anything, it should be Team Queso winning 6-2. Or if you look at checkout, if you look at the stats, but instead Rebel upset everyone perhaps in their predictions. And honestly, for me here, they've sent a message. Hey, we can play with Demon. Hey, we are here to play in this major after what was somewhat an underwhelming performance in Pro League. Really excited to see what they can do in the rest of this major.
Yep, from having a little bit of a not good start. We can both agree that was back and forth in map number 1 and then just dominate on map number 2. Rebel talk about all the heart in the world, and that's something that these players will always possess, especially with Crack being the player to watch. Man, he put on a show. I don't know who picked it, goalie, producer. I don't know if it was reflections towards the back end, but you guys definitely picked a great player to watch in Crack.
Absolutely. So I think what was great about Rebel there was it really was a team effort, right? We talked about checkout. It was all about strategy for them, how they played that one. They tried everything. Rebel kind of just stuck to the guns and used just the 4-man into checkout and see what happens. No, it was actually Rebel that were more proactive there on execution on Canals. They were brilliant with how they played it. They stuck to the guns of the turbo plays, but also they were able to shut them down on the middle bridge push. Even Team Queso getting trapped on low side at one point. You can't see, it just can't happen, PR. There's no positive from it at all. You have to go all in if you have 3 players on that low side, because you are at a severe disadvantage if you don't get either turbo or middle bridge control in that situation.
Yep. Welcome back, though, Toby. First cast, international major cast, back into the books. I couldn't have a better opportunity, a blessing to be the guy to kind of call the action with you. But there was just so many moments, so many strategies and big plays to break down over the course of those 5 games. I would not have anybody break it down better than a great analyst that we have on the desk. Reflections, Ribs, Ryan. Make some sense of this mess, please. We need it. We need it bad.
Is he talking? I see his lips moving.
Restart. Hey, check it out. Hey, listen. Hey, thank you, Jacob and Toby. We appreciate you. You killed it out there, Toby. Sounded incredible as always. Jacob bringing that fuego with the energy. And this match, this series brought the fuego. As we expected, look, you have 2 very evenly based team. Team Queso playing for something, Rebel playing for something, and I think both on the path to prove themselves. Overall, very impressed with the way Identives and Crack stepped it up. Identives putting the team on his back in multiple moments, Ribs. You got to give him a lot of credit here.
Oh, yeah, and honestly, you said Identities and Crack. Crack had a huge 3-piece with the grenades on this map. That was a huge tide turner. Jacob called it. He's like, if he makes a play with those grenades, it's going to be a big difference maker. Sure enough, they win that Reactor. Rebel, such a close Reactor. And then this was just another day in the office for Sleeafer. They've been so strong on checkout, 6-1 on checkout. The fact that they won 6-1 rounds is the second time they've done that in a row against Rebel. So this is a great win. But honestly, if I'm Team Queso, I needed to win that first control. It was so important that they won that 4th one. Their Canals just wasn't as strong as their checkout, Ryan. They kind of got run over there by Identities and Rebel on that 5th map.
Yeah, I mean, Identives had just an incredible series. He's one of those guys that you know heading into an event is always going to show up when the money's in the line, when the biggest spotlight is on. And that's exactly what he did. I do think that, obviously, I think we all probably felt a little momentum swing after that 4th map, right? That Regency control was insane. So you're thinking, all right, Queso, they're probably the better execution team. They just got a lot of momentum, but we know how strong Rebel is on that Canals map. So I love seeing those guys really just kind of have that short-term memory, rush aside the comeback, and they just came out and stomped them on that Canals execution. What an incredible series, man, to kick this major off. That was a treat.
Look at this 1v1 reaction shot right here.
Oh, I love this.
This is so
I jumped out of my chair.
He could have easily lost that first round in that 1v1. Identities winning that round. You don't understand, Taylor, how important it is to win a 1v1 on the 5th map on the first round. It makes all of your teammates feel that much more comfortable. And of course, Rebel, I didn't see them miss any shots after that first round.
Yeah, Rebel, and again, you pointed out best, right? You as a competitor, Ryan, you've been coaching, for a while. You even competed yourself. I mean, those little moments like that has the momentum to shift, kind of the momentum back in your favor, which was much needed, in my opinion. When Team Queso won Regency 300 to 296 on the back of a massive comeback, I was a little worried about Rebel heading into Canals execution. Again, losses like that hurt. When you lose by 4 points, you're on the cusp of winning 3-1, and now you're going to a game 5. That can really have a chance to deflate you as a team. But you're right. When Identities won that engagement and then even emoted, right? In round 1, I'm thinking like, it might be a little bit too early, but hey, I mean, I might as well get the party started now.